artificial sweetener, when it came out many years ago, it promised the world. Obesity got worse? Yes. Diabetes got worse? Yes. This is not really a solution. However, the good news is we have a better solution. Last time I mentioned about sweeteners, and sweetener actually comes in many different forms, and there are natural form. Although they're natural sweetener, they do increase your blood sugar and they do contain calories. In this part 2 of Sugar 101, I'm going to talk about things that does not really increase your caloric intake and it has minimal impact on your blood sugar. So when we talk about sweetener that doesn't really affect your blood sugar, there's actually 2 different forms. In fact, there's actually 3 different forms to make it more confusing. So let's talk with the form that everyone probably know for the longest time, and these are the artificial sweetener. As the name entails, they are artificial. They're not natural. I don't want to always say if it's artificial, it's definitely bad for you. But we know as human, our body tend to like natural things better. Unfortunately, with artificial sweetener, when it came out many years ago, it promised the world. And I can tell you that being specialized in diabetes, it is such a thing that every diabetic patient was so happy, because many diabetic patients still love the sweet. So if there is a sweetener that promised the world, as in you can get your sweet but don't need to pay the price, who doesn't want that? However, as you can see, even with the rise of artificial sweetener, does the number of people had diabetes reduce? No. Does obesity got worse? Yes. Does diabetes got worse? Yes. So as you can see, this is not really a solution. And there has been a lot of debate about artificial sweetener. And for today, I'm not really talking about these debates, but I want to say that I myself are not a big fan of artificial sweetener. And these are things that you find that it's like sucralose, we talk about aspartame, we have the acetylsulfame K or acetylsulfame potassium, and they often can be found in some of our cookies, sweet cakes, and our popular pops, right? So you have the diet pop of anything, always have these aspartame sweetener. And these sweeteners, unfortunately, although it tasted sweet and you think it has no impact on you, it does have a negative impact. Especially some research to show that when have these sweetener in long term actually increases your hunger, that you actually craving for more sugar down the road. Other even show that there could be a high risk for cancer. But all in all, I think the research is saying that you need to have a high amount in order to have that effect. However, the good news is we have a better solution. Let's talk off with the basic one. These are natural sweetener. I call them natural sweetener, but they're natural sweetener without calorie and without glycemic impact or without affecting your blood sugar. And these are known as stevia and monk fruit sugar. The great thing about them, they are natural, they're not artificial. That's what I like. The second thing that you probably love about them, like I said before, they have 0 calorie and they don't affect your blood sugar. However, they are about 200 to 300 times sweeter than regular sugar. So for people who are cooking, especially if you do a lot of Asian dishes, you find it's very hard to use monk fruit or stevia in your cooking, because a little drop can already change your dish. So it's not really great for that. But what I find that's really good to use a monk fruit or a stevia is actually using them in your drinks, right? Smoothies or your lemon tea or your other drinks that you want to add a little sweetness, because it just doesn't taste the same without the sweetener. Then this would be a good choice, because 1 or 2 drops is more than enough to sweeten that drink and you can enjoy it too. Then there's another form. It's called sugar alcohol. It's kind of in its class, and the name called sugar alcohol is because literally it's a sugar molecule and alcohol molecule combined together, and that's what they call sugar alcohol. Sugar alcohol are these are very minimally digestible carbohydrates. So they do contain carbohydrate, but it's a very slow impact. But the difference between these sweetener compared to natural sweetener that I was talking about, stevia as well as monk fruit, is that they are not as sweet, 30 to 70% sweetness compared to regular sugar. That means if you were to use them, you need to use a higher amount in order to get achieve the same sweetness as your regular sugar. Second is, like I said before, they are minimally digested. That means when you take it, it has minimal calorie, but not all sugar alcohols are made equal. Sorbitol, maltitol, xylitol, maltitol, as well as a lot of people know is erythritol. These are all sugar alcohol, and they're all different because they have the different intensity of sweetness, and they use mostly in your bacon, in a lot of the healthy kind of protein bars or healthy shakes. You often find these sweeteners. So the good is that they're low GI. In fact, it's so low GI you can almost count as they are no GI, but they do have it. They varies from 2 to 12. Just to let you know, bread is about 74, so this is still very low compared to eating, and that's why when you eat them or when you have food that has the sugar alcohol, it has very little impact on your blood sugar. The not so great news is if you have digestive issues, I'm talking about people who has IBS, like irritable bowel syndrome. If you notice that when you're taking sugar alcohol in higher amount and you start to notice gas, bloating, or diarrhea, it is actually can be quite common for people who have digestive issues. With that being said, know that everything has its pros and cons. So what is the conclusion? Nowadays, when you go to a health food store, you probably see a combination. So you probably see stevia combined with erythritol, or you see monk fruit combined with erythritol. And you're probably wondering, how come of all the sugar alcohol, why would they always combine with erythritol? Many reasons. Number one is of all the sugar alcohol, this is the one is the least amount to cause gas and bloating. And second, it is the lowest calorie and lowest GI. For that reason, it is the most popular sugar alcohol to use. So when they combine together, they lower the price, and second is the sweetness is almost 100%. What that means is 1 teaspoon of white sugar is the same as 1 teaspoon of monk fruit sugar plus erythritol. So from a usage, it's much easier to use. You can use it in your baking, you can use it in your drink, you can use it in your cooking. It makes it so much easier, and this is why it's so popular, and you probably see it everywhere when you go to a organic supermarket or a big supermarket or a health food store. I don't eat too much of one thing because I always believe everything fit. It's all about balance, it's all about variety, and I hope this information you find it helpful. So next time when you go to supermarket, you say, hey, now I know what to buy because Sosan taught me. And you're probably wondering, oh, that is a lot of names that you've been telling me. I don't know how to get them. I don't know what to buy because you say it's too fast. Well, don't worry. I actually create a guide just for you. It's called a Sweetener Guide to it from a dietitian, and I have it right in the description box. You just have to click on the link and you can download a Sweetener Guide from a dietitian. And until then, I will see you, and as always, 食得有型，活得健康。我哋下次再見，拜拜。